Hello, everybody. This is Martin Ramirez from MI5. MI5 stands for Millionaire in 5 years or less. That's my motto and my brand. And I welcome you guys here today. If you're new, welcome. If you're a loyal subscriber, then obviously welcome back. Today's video is it's about how to change your life in order to become successful. And when I say successful, I mean financially independent, where you're not a slave to the system anymore. Stop working paycheck to paycheck. Stop making other people rich by you working for their business and you're just making them, big bucks for these large corporations. Now, in case you've never been to my channel, you don't know me, my name is Martin Ramirez, the founder of MI5. MI5 stands for Millionaire in 5 years or less. That's something I created during my journey. This picture here, the guy standing next to this BMW, that's me. This photo was taken September 21st, 2017. And that's when I was already in part of my journey to become a millionaire. And at that point, I had made enough money to buy a brand new BMW while working, I'll say, not much above minimum wage at a grocery store clerk position, or just a deli clerk, not making a lot of money. And I was able to get this car from doing a lot of smart work and some hard work. Now, I bought this car and soon after wound up selling it because I found out something powerful, that your money can actually make you a lot more money. And I realized that pretty quickly on, and that's probably why I became a millionaire in 3 years. Now, when I talk about changing your life in order to become successful, there's an old saying that the chains of habit are too weak to be felt until they are too strong to be broken. Now we talk about chains of habit. What is habit? When we have a habit and it opposes what we know that we're supposed to be doing, that's when it becomes a problem. Everybody on here, YouTube, real life, whatever, you don't have to be on YouTube, you know when you're doing something stupid. I mean, it's in the back of your mind. When you're doing something careless, you're doing something reckless, you're not doing anything. That could be a lot too. Everybody's like, I've done nothing. I'm like, okay, well, that's a crime within itself. There's a movie I watched. I think it was called Turistas. It was based in Brazil. And there was a guy in there, and it's kind of hard to explain, but he kept telling the boss, he's like, I've done nothing. I've done nothing. And instead of the boss being impressed, say, okay, well, you're fine. I'll let you get away with, treason and whatever. He killed a guy because he hated a person who did nothing. He says, better to do something than nothing. People who do nothing will never make it in life. Yeah, you're not going to lose anything, but you're never going to gain anything either. Now, what is a habit exactly? A habit is something you do on a routine basis. There are good habits and there are bad habits. Example of a good habit might be, you run or jog 30 minutes to an hour a day. That's beneficial to your body. Example of a bad habit would be that you smoke weed and you drink every day. Those are examples of bad habits. And people will try to argue and say, oh, those are beneficial. Not really. You just think they are because you're compensating for something else that's missing in your life. There's a reason why most of the poorest people on earth, homeless and such, are hooked on so many different drugs. It's not because they're successful. Now, if they were millionaires, I doubt they'd be shooting up heroin and trying to drown their sorrows in liquor and all these other such things. So let's talk some more about some of these bad habits. Things that you do to yourself that are self-sabotaging. And everybody out there knows your own particular habit, whatever it may be, that keeps you from making it in life. And you know it, I've known it in the past. And even currently, some things still hold me back that I have not mastered yet, or I need to overcome them. Nobody on this earth is perfect, otherwise we would not be here. Okay? Like I said, it could be some kind of addiction. That's a lot of it. You could be addicted to a lot of things. First of all, it'd be drugs. Heroin, cocaine, marijuana. A lot of people say marijuana is not a drug. I beg to differ. It is. And it's kind of a gateway drug. And it's what gets people started on other stuff that just keeps leading you into the wrong path. Drinking, I wouldn't say it's necessarily good either. Maybe unless you have it under control and you just socially drink sometimes, but even then, it's not really the greatest thing for you and it's not healthy for your body. Without a healthy body, you're not going to have anything. You can have all the money in the world, but if you're not healthy and you're going to die, it's not going to do you any good. And we can go on and on about bad habits. There's so many. Going to bed late, waking up late. Guess what? You missed the bus because they say early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. And it's absolutely true. Especially if you're a day trader like me. Yeah, you want to get up early and get into the stock market. Many days have I slept it off and lost out on making money because I was being stupid. You don't want to do that. You want to get up. Early bird gets the worm. And for those of you out there who do not think life is a competition, you're fooling yourself. You may not feel you're competing with anybody, but the rest of the world's competing against you. Believe that or not. As ruthless as it sounds, everybody on this earth will step on your head if you're laying on the ground and use you as a human stepladder to climb up in society to achieve what they need to do or to feed their families or to just eat for themselves. They'll use your goddamn head as a step stool. And that sounds silly, might even be funny to some of you, but it's absolutely true. We're in I would say semi-sophisticated society. But if there were no law and there were no actual order, you guys, a lot of you out there would be doomed. You'd be sitting ducks, pigeons, because you'd be pushed into the ground because you're not strong. And it's used to be survival of the fittest. Like I said, the only thing that's keeping that from changing now is modern sophistication, modern etiquette. I mean, we have laws now. You can't just run around cutting people's heads off, spearing people down with swords and spears and all that stuff, like they used to do in the old days, putting people's heads on pegs and things like that. If it were still like that, and only the strong survived, most of us would be gone. Honestly, we'd be history. We'd be pushed down and put in our place, and we would not continue to move on in life and to procreate. I feel like the welfare system, all these programs, kind of upset that balance, and they give people with no motivation whatsoever or any desire to work. They put them on a level playing field with people who are just starting out, working at minimum wage jobs, working hard, working 8 to 10, 12 hours a day, but yet somebody will not go to work. It's making just as much as you are with government assistance and many other programs, which sounds noble, but in the long run, I think it's really hurting mankind. Because you're not giving people the motivation and the inspiration to do something with their lives. Instead, you're showing them that even if they don't put their best foot forward, they're still going to make it just as well as a person who just started working at McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, whatever. And they're actually working hard and using their taxpayer money to support people who are not working at all and never plan to. My number one tip is to become selfish. And what I mean by that is stop caring about everybody else in the world, everybody else in your life, your family members who are not doing well, blah, blah, blah. There's always going to be some needy, greedy person in your life that's going to expect you to do everything for them. Stop doing that. You need to focus on yourself. When I stopped worrying about everybody else in my life, that's when I was able to focus on myself and move forward. Because there's people in your life, they'll never stop sucking money out of you. They're a constant bottomless pit, which is always needy. Other bad habits, they're going to keep you broke. And these don't seem like a big deal till you're consumed in them. TV. Sitting and watching TV, you're not going to make it in life. Because you're being consumed. That's why I call you guys consumers. Because you're consuming. And I don't care if it's on Netflix, HBO, whatever, any kind of streaming service you might have. It's all the same thing. You're focusing on fictional characters' lives. You're worried about them so much. You're spending money on subscription basis. And you're so worried about that, you're not worried about your own life. Trust me, you guys have a lot of drama in your own lives. I know that for a fact. Oh, next up is video games. Don't get me wrong, video games can be cool. But when you're so caught up in it, and that's your life, you're caught up in this alternate life, you're really missing out on real life. You're trying to replace your real life with an alternate life. And you get so caught up in this crap that you don't ever get to go out there and do anything with your real life, your current life. You're living in a fantasy land. I don't know why. Many speculations of why you guys value video games over your own real life. You can have a crappy life, fine, I get that. But change it. Believe it or not, you have the ability to change your goddamn life. Really, you do. You just gotta get up off your lazy ass and do it. Don't demand $1,000 phone. You don't need $1,000 phone to work. You could work for Postmates, Uber, Instacart, all these different apps. You don't need the latest and greatest iPhone or Galaxy, Samsung, whatever the case may be. Get a goddamn phone. Start making some money. Go apply for a part-time job somewhere. Be a grocery store, gas station, wherever. Just do something. And quit making excuses of why you can't do what you need to do to get where you want to go. And if you don't want to go there, then you just don't want it bad enough. And you're never going to make it because you have the wrong mentality and you're refusing to change the way you believe or the way you live, your bad habits. And if you're going to stay that way, like I said, you'll never make it. You'd be lucky if you have a minimum wage job. But that's it for this video. I'm going to sign off now. I'm going to break for now. I'm going to talk to you guys later. And any of you guys didn't like this video, then you can go screw yourself because this crap's real. So wake up. Wake up to reality. Wake up and smell the coffee. See ya.